Mother Hub is a game that has seriously impressed me. This single developer has been working on this game for over 10 years, and I'd say these results are worth it. Hey everyone, Jarek here. I'm a dragon on the internet, and if this is becoming a trend, then I love it. I have gotten 2 different early to mid 2000s inspired first-person shooters recently. I think we're starting to get into the nostalgia cycle where 2000s style things are becoming loved. People that grew up with those games are now making their own, and that makes me very happy. At least excited. Maybe I'm getting in my own head, maybe this isn't actually happening, but I would love it if this happened. That is my favorite era for first-person shooters. Something that I used to call the Half-Life era because everything was pretty inspired by Half-Life, but people understand what I mean when I say early to mid-2000s. With that all said, Mother Hub doesn't seem to be inspired by Half-Life. It seems to be more inspired by Doom 3. But even that isn't entirely accurate. The best way I can describe Mother Hub is that it's like if System Shock 2 and Doom 3 had a child, except they divorced when Mother Hub was at a young age, so they only know one of their parents, and that parent is Doom 3. This is to say that when you're looking at gameplay and footage of Mother Hub, you'll see things that look really similar to System Shock 2. That HUD looks like something you would see out of an immersive sim. And you have dialogue trees when you select on things, multiple choices, even multiple endings.
Hello there, I'm Norman, the full-service robot. If I was expecting company, I would have cleaned up some of these rat carcasses. You see, that's a little joke. I wouldn't clean them up. I think they add to the decor.
But the gameplay itself is solidly Doom 3. This is a first-person shooter, not an immersive sim. And that's fine by me. Controversial take, I'm not really big into immersive sims. I don't hate them. But I do find the pipeline of boomer shooter dev going to immersive shooter dev to be perplexing. I mean, those two genres seem to be total opposites to me. Boomer shooters, you just shoot everything without too much thought, aside from just how to kill better, and move on. Immersive sim is think about everything. So at a glance, you would think people that like boomer shooters wouldn't really care for immersive sims, but that's just not the case. On the flip side, people like me that seem to be into games like Half-Life and Halo don't seem to be interested in immersive sims at all, so take that as you will. Mother Hub impressed me right away. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I didn't expect this level of care put into this game. It's obviously using bought assets, but who cares when it looks and plays like this? Oh.
You did this via...
As a scientist, can you really stop this from happening?
This takes the early 2000s approach to storytelling. It doesn't throw you into cutscenes. It doesn't have someone just narrate what's going on to you. It just dumps you into a world and lets you figure it out. You live in a sci-fi ghetto. People are scrounging for food, barely surviving. And clearly, the guards are rather hostile.
You rats need to learn your place.
I promised your mom.
To make matters worse, you're quarantined into a certain area of whatever this facility is. When you leave this area, nothing is patrolled, and you are attacked by mutants. Again, none of this is explained to you. You don't know what's going on, what these things are, where you are at all. In fact, where you are was a massive question I had when I was playing throughout the entire game. Are we in futuristic sci-fi Earth where Earth isn't habitable anymore? Are we on a different planet entirely, like Mars or something? Why are we locked in wherever we are? And who am I? I clearly have a history. I don't know what that history with this place is, but I clearly have one. And why are there mutants? Now, I won't explain where you are in this game. I don't want to spoil everything, or most things for that matter. But I will tell you about the mutant thing because you'll come across it pretty quick. As it turns out, this facility was developing an implant. That implant, however, turned into a parasite.
The time-released black walnut bark seems to kill the parasite. I will admit, attaching it to the central nervous system was a risky choice, but now we can monitor the progress more rapidly.
This parasite would eventually kill the host. However, the brain would remain intact, meaning everything would be dead. Your heart would be stopped, you would have no control over your body, but your brain's still functioning. So you're trapped in your body. That sounds really familiar to me. Almost like a headcrab zombie situation.
God, help me!
So, yeah, zombies I guess are a pretty accurate description of what these are, but they just don't manifest themselves in a traditional zombie way. In fact, the way they manifest themselves is extremely horror-based.
I see pistol ammo. Oh, hi.
Reminder, this game is made by a singular person. That's why I'm so impressed with this game. This does what Doom 3 did, arguably better in many cases. And the main thing that impressed me right away is the voice acting. Thankfully, this indie developer didn't decide to go the route of using AI voices. They got actual voice actors. Now with indie games, voice acting can be here or there, usually a giant miss, because yeah, you can learn programming, you can learn how to work with an engine, you can create your own universes, get assets, but voice acting is a specialized talent. And if you want a full cast, then you either need someone that's very good at voice acting or a bunch of voice actors. The result is one of two things. Either A, you have really, really bad voice acting that pulls you out of the moment.
You have been excellent. Good night.
No! Is it really so easy? Mike, no!
Stone. He was on Majestic. Dark Eye.
What are you doing, boss? Wait. No!
Or B, you don't even use voice acting. You just use subtitles. I would prefer B over A, but obviously the best thing you can do is have good voice acting, but usually indie games don't have the resources to do that. Mother Hub is a massive exception to that.
I hear them, you know, like they aren't really dead. Like they're suspended in a web somewhere. My mom, wherever you are, I know you can hear me. I just want you to know I'm looking after Dad.
These voice actors are insanely good, and it seems like there's quite a few of them. And when I say quite a few of them, I mean there is a lot of dialogue in this game. That's a good thing. It's optional. It won't override your experience of the game. But if you want to listen to everything, you're going to be sitting there listening to audio logs for a long time. I'm not kidding when I say virtually every single room, you will get at least one new audio log. They don't automatically start playing, so this is not intrusive, but they add a lot to the lore. And again, these voice actors went all out in what they were doing. I'm seriously impressed by how much writing and thought was put into this universe. There's even multiple endings. 4 multiple endings. Gives you plenty of reason to play. But speaking of play, how's the gameplay? Well, I already mentioned it's very similar to Doom 3, and that would be true. You don't have advanced movement. In fact, it feels almost a little janky with the amount of head bob is in there. But I don't say that in a negative way. It's the right amount of jank that portrays you're not a super soldier. It's kind of like how people praise how limited you feel in Silent Hill 2. James is not supposed to just shoot everything and keep going. Combat has consequence. In this case, it does feel natural, but you feel vulnerable, especially if you're crouching, which is going to be a problem. You will be climbing through vents in tight places. There's even a level where your flashlight doesn't work, because it got too damp. What? It's just a gameplay reason to dial up the tension, and that's fine, it works. Enemies will all have their own gimmick. Some of them will just be small and fast and part scorpion, and already that looks weird, you don't want to touch it. Other ones will be literally invisible. You'll have random boss fights that just... Well, I'll just let you see the first one to get the point across.
It was a trap. Enemies are gonna start spawning.
Yeah, so clearly they're going for shock value here. But that shock value works when the atmosphere is this good. Now how about your guns? Well, you get 5 of them and they all feel okay. First one is a standard melee weapon. I really don't have much to say here. Second one is a pistol. This one's the one I probably use the least, even though it is fairly effective, but I found it got replaced by the revolver relatively quickly. The revolver is stronger, can still be fired quickly, and you get tons of ammo for it. Next up is the SMG, the Ripper. This thing is actually really satisfying, and has a unique mechanic where if you aim down sights, it shoots slower, compared to the dumping rate of fire that you get when hip firing. My only complaint is that you never really get enough ammo to properly use this thing, so I rarely ever used it. And the last one is a shotgun. This is effectively a double barrel shotgun, at least in functionality. It has 2 shots and then you have to reload.
Those things. I'm enjoying the shotgun the more I'm using it.
I don't really know how that works. Looking at the silhouette in the bottom right, where do those 2 shots go? Why can it only hold 2? Why can it not hold more before I have to reload? Whatever. It's an effective shotgun. And that's it. That's all you get. I will say the guns are probably the one place where I can really tell this game is using pre-made assets. This isn't really a bad thing, but there's a very distinct look to sci-fi pre-made guns. Wretched had the same sort of look to them. So do so many other indie games. Again, that's not really a negative thing, it's just something that does stand out a little bit. It's cohesive enough for me to not really care, but I felt like mentioning it. Also, the reloading animations are simple. This was definitely the place the dev had the least amount of experience in, but it's forgivable. Probably the only downside of this game is that it's relatively short. I beat it in about 2 hours, but if you want to get all the secrets and listen to all the audio logs, it'll probably be a little longer than 3. It really does add a lot of lore, and I actually wanted to listen to all these. I just didn't listen to all of them because I was streaming and I felt that would have been bad for the stream, but I would recommend you listen to these. They're pretty cool. So, do I recommend Mother Hub? Well, if you can't tell by how much I've basically been praising this game and saying virtually nothing negative about it, yes, I would absolutely recommend it. Especially if you're looking for more of that Doom 3 aesthetic, Doom 3 vibe, the Doom 3 experience. I love the style of game, and we just haven't gotten to very much. Yet, as odd as that is, this is the second Doom clone I know of. The first one was Wretched, which I recommend. I actually made a full video of that, I guess I'll link in the end card. And now we have Mother Hub. Both worth it. Better yet, this game is only $10. Money well worth spent. Hey, huge thanks to my YouTube members. They're going to see videos way early ahead of time because I need to take a few weeks off and I'm really starting to stockpile videos. Like, they're going to see some of my videos maybe a month ahead of time. I gotta have something to post while I can't continue working on videos. So it's really worth it. If you want to see my stuff early, I keep it really cheap and it really does help me. I can't understate that enough. It does pay for some of my bills, and bills are pretty expensive right now. So humongous thanks to the people that are continuing to support me, allowing me to do all of this. If you want to see other videos just like this one, that also greatly helps me. There's a big playlist of stuff, videos, again, just like this one up there. If you want to see my video on Wretched, which is another Doom 3 clone, you probably have interest in that, it's linked down there. And if you just want to subscribe and check out my stuff as I post it, I post every single Friday, then subscribe. Here, right in front of me. Thank all you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.